What is going on, crypto peeps? Welcome back to the Traveling Crypto. Happy Monday to you. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions as to what's going on with Bitcoin, Bitfinex, why is Tether's price less than $1, etc. Well, hopefully I can throw some theories, some compelling theories your way to make sense of all of this madness. So Bitcoin's price had skyrocketed to about $7,700 depending on which exchange you were looking at. Now, the reason this happened, there's a couple of reasons why I think this happened. One, obviously, is what is going on with Tether and the fact that Tether is currently trading below $1. Well, it's gone up in value a little bit, but this went as low as 94 or 93 cents, depending on where you were looking at. And the second thing is because, and I'll get to that in a second, but it has to do with the phenomenon called a short squeeze, which I've discussed in the past, but we'll go over in a second. So why is Tether trading less than $1? If it's pegged to $1? Well, for those that don't really understand markets or macroeconomics, just because you peg a currency to $1, and this experiment, by the way, has been tried with actual countries' currencies before, such as in Latin America and in Africa, pegging a currency to another currency or a more stable currency like the US dollar doesn't mean that it will magically stay there forever or maintain that pegged value forever, right? Certain macroeconomic and market factors take shape and drive the price of or the value of that currency to where the market sentiment thinks it's supposed to be. So there has been a lot of FUD surrounding Tether, not only, as of yesterday, but over the last few years. For those of us that have been involved in crypto for longer than a year, you'll remember Tether's, inability to prove that every single Tether token is backed by $1. The fact that there were efforts to audit Tether and audit the stakeholders behind Tether, and those efforts came up short. There's also the questionable relationship between Tether and Bitfinex because the CEO of Bitfinex is also a Tether stakeholder. And of course, yesterday there was some FUD surrounding Tether and Binance, where there was a fake message that was distributed on Twitter it was supposed to be Binance, but obviously it was fake, saying that Binance was delisting Tether. So that just threw the entire thing for a tailspin, and people started liquidating their Tether and either buying up Bitcoin or, transferring into another stable coin like TUSD, which is why you see TUSD trading at a premium. So the way this happens is because sellers or people who hold Tether, are willing to let go of their Tether at a slight loss in order to mitigate the risks. And that is why the price keeps declining or the price stays below $1, is because people who hold Tether now buy into that fear and are scared of what's going to happen. And so they start letting go of their Tether, and the price of Tether keeps falling, but traders are willing to let go of Tether at that slight loss in order to mitigate the risks. So on exchanges like Bitfinex that have Tether pairings, traders were dumping their Tether and most likely buying Bitcoin as well as other stable coins that were available on the exchanges. The fact that Bitfinex halted fiat deposits, and for a time they also were halting Tether withdrawals, right? So people then were even more compelled to buy Bitcoin on these exchanges, on an exchange like Bitfinex, therefore driving the price up. So if you take a look at the price of Bitcoin on something like Coinbase, where Tether isn't a factor, you'll see that it is currently at around 6,400, but on an exchange like Bitfinex, it is at 6,800. So it is trading at almost a 6 to 7% premium on Bitfinex because the value of Tether is less than $1. So as I said before, for those of us that have been involved in crypto for a year or more know that this has happened before with Tether specifically, and Tether has actually dropped to around 91 cents middle of 2017, but the value of the currency has restabilized back to around $1, and now we are seeing the FUD spreading again, bringing the value of Tether down. I believe that the value of Tether will restabilize to around $1, but I don't begrudge people for being fearful, especially because there have been some questionable movements surrounding Bitfinex and Tether. So this was October 12th, so about 3 days ago. It says Bitfinex crypto exchange halts fiat deposits, $110 million in Tether exits a Bitfinex wallet. So the rumors surrounding insolvency of the Bitfinex exchange have also been garnering attention. And since Bitfinex and Tether are tied, there is that awkward marriage where one is inextricably tied to the other. And so the fall of one could lead to the fall of the other and vice versa. Anyway, from a market sentiment standpoint, traders are just skeptical of the whole Bitfinex Tether arrangement. And that is reflected in the price of Tether being less than $1. So that is how the price of something that's pegged to, a certain currency can actually fall short of the value of that currency. As I stated just a few minutes ago, there's been plenty of examples, especially in South America and Africa, where, say, for instance, the Argentinian peso at one point was pegged to $1, but market forces take shape. And when people lose confidence in the Argentinian peso, for instance, they're willing to let go of it at a loss. And that drives even more fear and more people willing to let go of their Argentinian pesos at even more of a loss, driving the value down below $1. And then all mayhem breaks out. I don't expect that to happen with this, unless of course something like Bitfinex, an exchange like Bitfinex, does go insolvent and does implode. That would be a whole different story. Anyway, going back to BTC's price, there are a few interesting phenomena I wanted to discuss here. So, as I said, there was also the phenomenon of a short squeeze. So, not only did the Tether FUD pump Bitcoin's price, but the pumping of Bitcoin's price then leads to a short squeeze, which is also a cause and an effect of price action. If you look at shorts were at, again, near an all-time high, and you'll see this drop here that happened yesterday. This was a short squeeze where short positions are forced to close out because of the rise, the surge in price of BTC. So there was a little bit of a short squeeze effect taking shape here as Bitcoin's price continued to parabolically rise in today's candle. Now, comparing the Bitfinex value of BTC versus the regular, I should say, or normalized value of BTC, you'll see that when this was happening, when this price surge was happening, and I was monitoring it last night, it looked like we were going to close above the descending triangle. Now, as you know, if you've been following this channel, and I'm sure a lot of other traders have talked about this for a while now, but this is a 10-month long trend here. This descending triangle channel is a 10-month long trend, and we are now nearing the apex of that triangle, meaning there is a decision-making situation for Bitcoin. What does it want to do? We have strong support at 5,800. That's our 2018 support. And then we have this resistance, this downward sloping resistance of the descending triangle. Now, it looked like we were going to break it, and that would have been a good sign for Bitcoin. We still have a few hours left on the candle, so we could still theoretically break it. But it looks like Bitcoin is falling back under that and respecting the rules of this descending triangle. Obviously, if you're looking at something like Bitfinex or Bitcoin's price against USDT, you'll see that is not the case, but this is considered an inflated or artificial price due to those market factors that we just discussed. But for now, obviously, to be on the conservative side, I'm going to go with what I consider to be the normalized price of Bitcoin, which is on the non-USDT traded exchanges such as Coinbase and others. Now, what do I think will happen to BTC? Obviously, that's the number one question that I get on the Discord. And again, if you want access to the Discord, link is in the description. If you want access to the trade alerts, that link is also in the description. But yeah, that's the number one question I get. And I will tell you honestly, nobody knows, including me, including any trader that you know. Nobody knows. Nobody knew that this short squeeze was going to happen as well yesterday. No one thought that the price of BTC would go to 7,700. There are very tenuous market factors that are happening currently, not just with Tether and with Bitfinex, but also with the number of shorts, with the fact that traders are expecting another holiday bull run. There's just so many things involved right now where it's almost impossible to predict the value of Bitcoin going forward within the next couple of months. Over the long run, yes, if you're looking at say a weekly chart and you're looking at a logarithmic scale, over the long run, you could make certain assertions or assumptions as to what Bitcoin's price will be in a few years. But within the next 2 months, it is very hard to tell what's going to happen. But I can tell you that I'm currently not trading Bitcoin because it's not worth it for me. There isn't enough information for me to risk a significant amount of capital on trading Bitcoin. There are plenty of other trades to engage in. So I'm currently not trading Bitcoin until I see a clear sign of what's going to happen. Of course, and I talked about this before, breaking out of this triangle, we can even continue sideways for a really long time as we have in the past. In other news, ZRX is now open for trading on Coinbase Pro. We did make a healthy amount of profits on ZRX playing this breakout right here. Again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. And it seems like the price has retraced a little bit. I already took profits on ZRX, but it'll be interesting to see what happens after the listing. We've seen this in crypto before, time and time again, that major events, the run up to the major events, right? The rumors is really what causes the price to incline. But after the major event happens, whether that's a mainnet launch or a listing on a certain exchange, etc., the hopium surrounding that starts to dissipate, and we'll see that reflected in the price. People are no longer excited about that event, and so the price does decline a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on ZRX. And as you see here on Coinbase Pro, here's the ZRX BTC listing. There's obviously also a ZRX USD listing on Coinbase Pro. That is it for this video. Hopefully I shed some light as to what was occurring with Bitfinex and with Tether, why Tether's trading under $1 and why other stable coins are trading at a premium. As always, please do your own research and try to protect yourself and protect your portfolios as you see best. Sign up to the Discord, sign up to the trade alerts, link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay safe out there. Peace.